Hello and welcome back. Today got a bit of a tool haul for you. Well, it's not just tools, there's some bits and bobs for the workshop as well. So without further ado, we'll get straight into it. So one of the things that I've been sadly lacking, not sadly lacking, God, it makes me sound like I'm hard done by, not like that at all. I didn't have any of these, which are 1/2 inch to 3/8 impact adapters. Bought them off of Amazon. I think they were about £5 for the pair. They're both the same. I'm not really sure how they're going to hold up. Let's just focus that a bit. There we go. You know, they are what they are. My impact gun stuff is 1/2 inch. My torque wrench is 1/2 inch. I haven't quite got a full set of 1/2 inch sockets, impact sockets yet. So for the ones that are missing, these will do in the meantime until I can pick up those remaining sockets. I will say I do apologise for the multitude of bird noises. It sounds like Jurassic Park out there with the seagulls, the pigeons and everything else, but there we go. I've got to have the shed door, workshop door open today. It's been super hot here in the UK over the last few weeks, and we're up to, what time is it now? It is about 10 o'clock in the morning and we're up to nearly 30 degrees already. I am not a man who was built for heat. So next up are these. They are strip lights, and we'll just open one up. I think there was one I'd already opened here actually. Now what I've bought these for is to go underneath the cabinets in the workshop to give slightly better light in the workshop underneath the 3 wall units here. It's not dark on the bench, but towards the back, and certainly for filming, it's going to certainly help for filming for more detailed stuff. They're LED. They're pretty bright. I'm going to do a video on me putting these in. Now what I like about these is they do a little extension cable that links them together, but you can actually just push fit the 2, 3 or however many you want to link together. So I really kind of like that idea. So in terms of where they're going to go, if I just loosen off this tripod a bit, just point you up, there we go. So I'm going to fit these two bars, and they'll go under here. I have plugged them in to test them, and they are super bright. You can't change the bulbs are fixed, but it's not the sort of thing that I'm going to be using for hours and hours and hours like you would do in a kitchen in a house. So but I guess that's the sort of thing that people buy them for. They come with, oh, let's just put that back down. They come with fixing kits and a decent length of cable, and in one of the cupboards I've had 2 sockets installed when I had the electrics done, so I can route the power straight into there, so I'm going to have no cables dropping around anywhere, which will be nice. So yeah, I might do a video on that. So let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing that. I bought these from, as I say, from Lidl, which I think are pretty much all over, certainly Europe. They're a German company. They produce some quite good stuff. I've bought quite a few bits from Lidl over time, and they were really cheap. I think they were like £7 each, and I bought 3. I bought 2 for under the cupboards, and I bought another one, just move these out of the way, I bought another one for the tool chest, because what I'm thinking about doing is making a sort of hutch type thing, and I'll show you that in a minute. So next up wasn't a purchase, it was a repurpose. I did purchase these, which is got some more welding rods. I very seldomly weld. I have an arc welder. I don't need to buy a MIG welder for the bits and bobs that I do, but the welding rods, you have to keep them really dry, and in the old shed they had got damp and they had to be thrown out, because then you sort of have all kinds of problems with them. So yeah, so I just bought a multi-pack of 50 rods there. That'll probably last me about 10 years, as I say, for the amount of welding. But what I did do is I bought a couple of these years ago for my office drawers at work, and I wanted something for the tool chests to hold the little bits and bobs in. And Ernst do a tray, and they're about £15, I think. But never seem to have the colour I want in stock, and I've only seen them on Amazon. And then I came across this, and I thought, yep, that'll do the job just fine. It's got various compartments and things, so that'll be going in the tool chest or cabinet. Very pleased with that. Forgotten I even had them. Okay, next up is some things for paintwork. So I didn't have a mop head, so bought a mop head. That was a few pounds, a couple of pounds, nothing much at all. And also bought multi-pack of wet and dry sanding paper. As I say, I don't do massive amounts of things like this, so I only needed a small pack. That was a few pounds. Did, however, buy another spray gun. Now, the gun that I've got currently, I think I've probably shown this before, is suction cup style. But of course, if you're sort of going up and down and things, unless the cup's pretty full, you start having some issues. And my eldest son's girlfriend, who works in a paint shop, said, well, really what you need to be doing is getting a gravity feed gun. I thought, oh, okay. So I bought this. Now, looking at it and looking at what some of you guys and girls have shown on YouTube in your channels with regards to the Harbour Freight guns, this looks really similar. It came with a regulator as well to actually go on the gun. So you got quite a nice regulator. I mean, it's chunky, but I don't mind that. I'd rather not be fiddling around. And what pretends to be a cleaning kit, but in actual fact is a cheap toothbrush. I do have a cleaning kit, brushes, you know, sort of brass brushes and things for cleaning guns. And it's got a filter there and fittings. But yeah, I think this is basically a different coloured version. You'll have to tell me if I'm wrong. So it looks like a different coloured version of the one that Harbour Freight sells in the US. So let me know what you think. The nozzle, I think, was a 1.4. Hasn't got it on now, I can't remember. It's either a 1.4 or a 1.8. It wasn't particularly expensive. I think it was about £15. It was on 1.4 stamped on the end there. Don't know if you can see that. See if I refocus that. There we go, 1.4. So yeah, it's got all the adjustment stuff I need, obviously, because of its gravity feed. It goes on the top. I've got already mixing cups and stirrers and the strainers and things for it going into the cup itself. All the adjustment I'll need. You can get the smaller or larger nozzles for that. For the amount of painting I'm going to do and the sort of things I'm going to do, I think this will serve me just fine. If you've got one of these, they're HVLP, high velocity low pressure, high volume low pressure, sorry, high volume low pressure. So yeah, if you've got one of these or you've bought one of these and tried it, certainly I'd appreciate a comment on how you found the gun. There's some conversations going on at the moment as to whether I am going to paint the body kit on the MR2 myself or pay someone to do it. And it's not because I don't want to do it, because I think, one, it would be, I say fun in the loosest possible term, but it could be fun doing it. But the main thing is time. Yeah, the main thing is time, really, because you know, obviously takes a reasonable amount of time to do this stuff, and I'm not sure, and the weather is so unpredictable in the UK. Oh, well, I say that, over the last 5 weeks you couldn't have made up how hot it is here. It's ridiculous. One thing it has taught me is I'm not a man who could live in a hot country for a sustained period of time, not without aircon anyway. The next thing I've got here is a bench mounted holder with a strainer cradle for the gun that we've just had a look at. This wasn't an awful lot, I think this was like £10, and I was pretty surprised at the sturdiness of this. I thought it would be sort of a bit flimsy, a bit thin and flimsy. So let me just work out which way it goes. So you got that there, that lives on there. So yeah, it's pretty much. Let's just take this off so you can see. So pretty much that. Your strainer goes in the top there, your pot there, and well, pretty much as you see in the picture there, really. Because there's one thing you do not want to do, it's holding guns, holding strainers, pouring in paint. That is just a situation waiting to go terribly wrong. So there's that. So we'll just move that to one more side. I was at a local country fair the other day, and there was a guy there selling off lots of bits and bobs and old stuff. And one thing I didn't have was a slide hammer. This is made by a company I've never heard of. In fact, I can't even actually make out who that is. But it's pretty heavy. It's a good old lump. So in terms of withdrawing things like hubs and things like that, it can be quite useful. I think that's an M10 fitting on the end there. It didn't come with any fittings for the end, but that's fine. I can sort of make up my own things for that. That's fine. I think I paid £4 for that. Yep, that'll come in. As I always say, it will come in handy. So the last thing I've bought. This isn't all been like. It's probably been an accumulation over the last couple of months, really. Is one of these eBay special welding helmets. So I watched a video recently done by a guy, what's his channel name? AVG, something like that. Anyway, he did a really great test on like super expensive welding helmets versus the cheap Chinese ones, and how much protection from UV and ultraviolet and stuff that you got. And what was interesting is that they pretty much it proved the fact that these are fine. You know, they might not last as long. I don't need to spend a couple of £100 on a welding helmet I'm going to use for probably a sum total of 5 hours a year. So it's branded by a company called Leopard. Look at that beast, look. So it comes with this sort of thin, it's not, I wouldn't say it's material, well, it sort of is, but you could rip it if you pull it hard enough, but it's nice that you've got a bag to keep it in, to keep it nice. You get a filter for the front. It's solar or light powered, so there's no batteries in it. You have adjustments for darkness of light transmission from, let's have a look here. I think it goes from something like, well, let's not guess, let's have a little look. I think it says something in here. It comes with a spare shields as well, so you get some spare shields. There's one spare inner shield. 1, 2, 3, there's another 4, so you get 5 of the front shields in total. And let's be honest, that's where it's going to get wrecked, is through splatter and things onto that. And you got a spare inner shield, because inside there's also another shield on the inside. You've got the adjustments there on the inside. I have tried it on. It's very adjustable. I do like that. This is similar to a lot of bike helmets where it's a sort of ratcheting. You push it in. It can't. You have to sort of push that in, and then it. If you see, it's opens and closes. I do like that adjustment. It's really good. It's the same as my gyro bike helmet. And then you've got the side lock-in points, and you can pivot that round. We was going to look at what the light transmission was on it, weren't we? What does it go from? Shade, rather, should I say. 9 to 13. Shade number can be manually set from 9 to 13, and it's also got a setting for grinding as well, which is useful if you're doing some sort of precision grinding rather than just going completely sort of mad and going to town on whatever you're grinding. So yeah, there we go. There's lots of protective films and things on the front there to be taken off. I'll leave them on. If anyone's interested, I'll do a bit of a test on that, see how it goes. There's some projects my wife wants me to make for her, which I said once I get all this new kit, it would be the first thing I do. It's like, you know, you get these like dragonflies and things made out of old knives, like cutlery, with a spark plug as a body. So I'm going to make her one of those, or a couple of those for the garden that she wanted. So yeah, so that's it for the current tool haul. You've seen, if you haven't seen, check out. I've also bought a couple of excellent screwdriver sets from Halfords. They're really good, excellent value as well, and both sets are still on offer at the moment. So check those videos out, and if you're interested in those, have a look on the website or get down to your local store and pick yourself up a set of those. So that is it for today. Leave me a comment. I appreciate comments. I do enjoy reading them and responding to them. Give the video a good old like if you like the video, and as I normally say, see you on the next one. Bye for now.